more logical to maybe try doing something like this, or I'm just gonna get buried because it's wild. I'm sure you're going like crazy too. If you want to let us know what you've been up to, definitely comment down below. I was meeting up with a friend of mine I met in Missouri when we went to that book sale and grabbed some food, but I had already been in town anyways, hitting up a few of the Kohl's. Basically, every time they run 30% off, I just go crazy on all their clearance sections of the store. Good amount of stuff. I mean, I got 150 in Kohl's cash. Goal lately has been to spend at least $1,000 anytime I take a trip to stores. Now on Nike days, of course, it's a lot easier, but at that point I was at like $850, and then met up with David, who goes by Monetary Ocean on Instagram. I'll also link his YouTube channel here up in the corner. Had some tacos, caught up, and then we headed over to Marshall's, and Marshall's went really well. Had a $470 spend, so real good, a little over $1,100. I'm basically looking at clothes because that's always what I got as a present, and saw my parents and uncles and aunts giving to us as we were growing up. Don't know the hype toys, but I am excited to find out soon. Other than that, exploring different areas and routes to see what I can do and how fast I can do it, so that I can plan here as we get busier and busier. A little bit of a hike to go, but totally worth it, because I mean, you can't really see it all, but there's a bunch of stuff in the 2 seats here. Spent over $1,000, fine with me. It's day 2 of this sourcing. For today though, the thought that came to mind is more about when I'm going to stores, and just some other added things onto yesterday's talk about mostly doing clothing at the moment. Another good thing about going to all those different stores is you can see what other stores have. I know with Nike, they have different tiers of stores. In other words, like the ones that have higher sell-throughs or whatever will get newer items, more valued stuff, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Guessing that, you know, Ross and all the other stores kind of work that same way. In particular, one of the Rosses I went to this week had a bunch of stuff, like $800 worth of stuff. Crazy part was when I went to the checkout, they were actually talking about how they have a lot of bulk buyers and how they have a lot of activity and everything. So I think, you know, sometimes it comes down to that. It comes down to how many products are they selling, what do they all have going on. This was a larger Ross, so maybe that has some play into it, but I'll definitely be back there again. Now for today, I headed to Nike. I like to switch up that spot as well. Just you find new products, you find different stuff, and then sometimes it jogs your memory about maybe something you forgot about too. But it should be fun. They do have 30% off clearance and 20% off running shoes, 30% off back wall. See what we find. To add on to another thing about all this is soon enough, we're gonna know what those hype toys are. And it's not gonna last very long before they start selling out at areas around you, and they might not have those many toys. This might be some kind of exclusive Funko or exclusive thing that, you know, you only can find at 1 or 2 at a Barnes & Noble, or 1 or 2 at Target, whatever. So I want to keep a really close eye on that. And part of what I'm doing for that is when I'm at Walmart and Target and Barnes & Noble and I'm scanning a bunch of stuff, just to, again, kind of get a feel for the market, if that toy is 200 or 300K sales rank, I will still buy it if it looks like the Keepa, whatever, looks like an opportunity. So that's helped me, because recently I have 2 products now that I'll need to get again from Walmart, and they both went from $199 and the other one was like $260 or $320. Now, when I looked at it after it sold here, it's now rated like $160 and then $110. 110,000, 160,000. So that's pretty wild, because I have another idea there is to keep an eye out for those things so that you can get those kind of opportunities too. That's kind of where the real meat lies, in those everyday toys, those toys that are abundant, because when you find those, then you really have plenty to source from if it's at a Walmart or Target, because I know of 8 Walmarts in an hour of me or an hour and a half of me. That's what I wanted to add on today. Again, if you have any questions, definitely let me know down below to keep up with what's going on in a little more timely fashion.